We help brands build the brand foundation, develop their go-to-market, and then we help them design the marketing organization to take their business idea, their success forward.
Is there a certain time that you work with each client you have, or is it undetermined?
Every client has a different level of in-house capability, and we're kind of like a chameleon where we meld to that. In some instances, we're an agency of record type of relationship. Others, we're applying creative direction.
Any process that you've been able to optimize or make more efficient with AI that you can tell us about?
We've created a workflow with embedded logic, with vibe coding that evaluates whether or not an organization might be best off investing in Claude or ChatGPT or Gemini.
Hey everybody, welcome to the show. My name is Andres Figueira and I'm going to be your host for the day. This show is brought to you by the Global Talent Company, helping fast-growing teams hire exceptional remote talent from Argentina, South Africa, and beyond. We connect companies with world-class professionals who bring skill, reliability, and a global perspective to every role. And just for our listeners, we're offering an exclusive 10% discount on your first hire. All you need to do is visit globaltalent.co, click Start Hiring, and mention the podcast listener discount when we reach out. And today, with me here, I am speaking with Adam Kleinberg, CEO and founder of Traction, a marketing accelerator for in-house teams. And with that said, Adam, it's a pleasure to have you on, man. How are you doing?
I'm great. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. Can't complain. Very excited that we're able to do this episode and get to know everything about Traction. So just in case anybody in our audience does not know what Traction is, would you be able to tell us in your own words what the company does and how you came to found this agency?
I started the Traction as an agency, a creative agency 25 years ago. I was a designer. I'm still a designer. And, we kind of were a traditional agency, grew up in San Francisco. So we were kind of really at the apex of innovation and technology. And, over the years, what we've kind of really learned being in that is like how to help brands survive, thrive, and win in these high stakes moments. Like product launches, the moments where you can't afford to fail, right? Product launches, brand resets, inflection points, like an acquisition where you have to accelerate growth. And about 7 years ago, we kind of saw this evolution in how brands were working and bringing more and more in-house. And so we kind of evolved our business model to be an accelerator for in-house teams. We help brands do everything they need to do to navigate these and take advantage of these high stakes moments. We help them build the brand foundation. We help them develop their go-to-market, and then we help them design the marketing organization to take their business idea, their success forward in the world. So, we are different than other agencies and how we're structured. There's probably 3 key things that we do that's different, maybe 4. One is the liquid workforce. So rather than have a staff, we have a community. We have a small core team of full-time people and a broader network of fractional talent, freelancers, strategic partners, part-timers that we kind of leverage and create bespoke teams. Okay. It allows us to have more senior talent with less overhead, and a broader range of talent so we can get more specialized. Just being a creative, like, my old days when I started Traction, we had a creative team and they were multi-talented. They could do a logo today, a website on Tuesday, and next week they could be working on an ad campaign, but the reality is now, like, as the business has evolved, like, there's specialists who are like best in the world at those things, right? Like, the UX designer and the visual designer of a website are different skill sets and strengths, and the creative who's good at doing a brand identity might not be the one who's good at designing a web page in Figma, or, knowing how to art direct a TV spot. So we're able to bring in world-class talent and really specialize the teams, with the right people, and enhance, what our clients are doing in-house. The other part of that is a lot of those teams are former brand side people. We have people on our team from Lululemon, from Hilton, from Nike, from Nordstrom, who are part of our core team, and have that brand side experience, which creates a faster road to trust. There's more empathy that we have to our clients' lives and situations.
Okay.
We have also this, consulting arm of this marketing organization design practice. So we're helping our clients. We just helped one retailer like reshape their agency structure. Like we evaluated their agency contracts and said, you're paying this one to do this, something that's this one's expertise, and you're paying these two to do the same thing. And so help them reshape that, help them reshape their infrastructure, help them plan a team for the future. And they wound up saving $5 million, and now they're also kind of, enabled for the AI economy,
Of
and operating at a higher level. And then, I think the last thing is the Future Proof Project. So the Future Proof Project is a community that we started 4 years ago of senior brand leaders, CMOs from major brands. It started as just a small dinner that has kind of blossomed into a community of about 350 CMOs,
wow.
and other brand leaders who we have AI events for every month. We bring in, uh, subject matter experts, the chief design officer at Figma, the head of Gen AI at Nike, the CEO of an agentic AI platform called InstaLily, will be meeting with us next week. And that's given us the ability to also learn. We create an environment for these brand leaders to share, and being part of that and facilitating that has given us kind of a leg up and put us at the forefront of adapting AI solutions, and building really an operating system for the new kind of agency that we use for our clients, and also then help our clients enact in their own organizations.
It's really cool how you're able to create this environment for people to get educated and learn further about AI, but it's also giving you a leg up with your company and traction on everything you guys do. And Adam, a question I have when you were telling me your story is then I feel traction is kind of like a savior for companies, because you come at these moments of a lot of pressure, a lot of high stakes, and you help them out to get everything sorted. You have these fractional team members that you're able to give the company. But then is there a certain time that you work with each client you have, or is it undetermined and you can stay with them in theory forever if that's something they'd like?
It really depends on the need. We have a relationship, for example, with a large meal kit delivery service, right? And we help them. Their primary channel is Meta, and they need that to operate at a high level. They do most of their media buying and creative in-house, but they've kind of brought us in to optimize that channel and hone in on the performance that they need. And that's an ongoing, there was the critical moment of, post-COVID, their kind of
Mhm.
natural, everyone during COVID was meal kit delivery was something that kind of had a natural demand creation, and that kind of had gone away, and they needed to reset. So we kind of helped them through that reset, and then we sustained their growth throughout that. So we often have ongoing relationships with clients where we're managing their media or, it's really, every client has a different level of in-house capability. And we're kind of like a chameleon where we meld to that. In some instances, we're an agency of record type of relationship. Others we're applying creative direction and, empowering their team to take the vision that we've created um, and move forward with it. And then in others, it might be the opposite. They may have like a really strong in-house team and we're helping them solve a specific problem that they don't have every day.
And more so when you do a good job in helping them in these high pressure moments, they're going to want to keep you ingrained in their company to make sure everything keeps on going well. So I would imagine that would be the case for a client that is having an excellent success story with you guys. And Adam, in terms of traction, do you work in a remote first environment or do you have physical offices where you meet with your team members and your employees?
We're entirely remote. We used to have an office in San Francisco for our first 18 years. But it actually, we're celebrating our 25th anniversary this month. But for the last 7 years, we kind of, right pre-COVID, we kind of pivoted into this model. And we were already remote when COVID happened. So we were kind of off to the races and had I'd already figured that out, beforehand. And we do have a kind of place in San Francisco where we will rent out a conference room if we want to have workshops and things like that, which we do frequently with our clients. And we want our clients to get out of their environment and have a place. So we've got a great facility that we leverage for that. But for the most part, we're completely remote. And, it's interesting. I still like to get my hands dirty and work with teams. And, we were working on designing an app for one of our clients. And, we had the whole team on Figma and everyone's on, Zoom call or, we're all in the same Figma file and we're collaborating at the same time, moving the same files around. And that kind of collaboration in a remote environment is something we never did in the office, right? Like, so to see like the way the technology has evolved, I think that this is really a big part of the future of work is this kind of shift toward a more remote fraction, I think people are going to have portfolio careers in the future. And I think there's going to be more of a gig approach to how people make a living.
And in terms of the team members you have, Adam, are those located on the United States or are you outsourcing certain talent due to time zones or anything like that?
We can work with anyone anywhere in the world. So we've got like one of our designers lives in Portugal, and we have a design, an animation partner in Colombia. We have, we've worked with we kind of sometimes will work with other partner agencies and really figure out what's the best way based on the resources our client has and the nature of the work. So we've got a partner in Poland we've used. So we really, as long as the communication is there, like the geography has become less of an issue and really it allows us to scale at a powerful way.
No, I agree. I totally agree with that. And it's nice that you're able to find talent wherever you may need it and are able to adapt to that. And this is a segue that I love to use in order to go into my other topic, which is also, you mentioned it before, that you're having these AI workshops and you're meeting with other CMOs and people like that to learn a bit more about the technology nowadays. And Adam, do you have any example or any process that you've been able to optimize or make more efficient with AI that you can tell us about?
Just a simple one, right? Like it's not simple. It's actually quite complicated. Onboarding and offboarding new team members, which we have to do a lot as a consultancy, that uses a fractional model, this liquid workforce. all these different things that we've got to manage to get people on board and offboarding. So we've kind of documented that workflow, and we've created workflow automations and AI agents that have helped us kind of to automate those processes and save a ton of time, and our like totally different piece of it. Like we're trying to build an operating system,
Okay.
right? Of all the different things that we do. We use Claude a great deal, and we've created skills in Claude and then pair those skills into skill stacks. So for example, like I have my brand guidelines as a skill, right? And I have all our templates as a skill. And I have, all our messaging as a skill. So if I'm creating content on behalf of Traction, like we can say, grab this voice skill, this template, this, workflow, all these different things, and you can mixing and match them into a stack and create consistency and on brand, better content. And people say, "Oh, you can't get good content out of AI." I was like, "Well, you can. You just need to train it. The context is more important than the tool, even, right?" The tools are all leapfrogging one another in capability, but the data and the context and what you feed it is the moat. So, we've got one tool that we've created. So I gave you an example of onboarding. That's an internal process for one of our, for our clients. Like we're often doing consulting of their in-house organization. So we've created a workflow with embedded logic, with vibe coding, that evaluates whether or not an organization might be best off investing in Claude or ChatGPT or Gemini or some combination therein, and how they should structure their context. So it's kind of like called a TCO calculator. What's the total cost of ownership? But and there's the way that those companies all structure license fees and token usage are very different. So understanding the usage that you're going to need from the tools becomes pretty complex calculation. So we've kind of created a tool to help our clients do that.
Wow, I've not thought about it. I did know that they have different ways of charging you for how much you use the application for ChatGPT, Claude, or anything like that. But being able to provide a tool for your clients to get to know better, and understand what's the best platform for them, that is just amazing, man. And Adam, another question we have is also in terms of this year. I can see that we're already almost ending March, so Q1 is practically done. And we would love to know, what are your plans as CEO, and what do you want for Traction towards the end of this year? What do you want to accomplish in 2026?
Well, one of the things I'm most excited about is Traction just got involved with an organization called Mighty Humans. It's mightyhumans.us. And Mighty Humans is a platform and a movement. We're facing times where a lot of people, unfortunately, are going to be displaced by AI. That's a tough reality, but it's not not a death sentence, right? Like it's not. We as individuals can become mighty, right? If we learn to use these tools, and if we gain experience using these tools, and we figure out how do we create new paths forward using these new tools. Mighty Humans is partnering with enterprise companies. Many of them are going to be having to let go of people as technology evolves and the nature of work evolves. And they're going to be endowing this organization so that we can give people free AI training, free opportunities to, work, with municipalities in their community on AI projects and get real world experience, helping them learn how to start their own businesses using AI, right? And I think that while on one side of the world, we're using this technology to streamline and optimize and accelerate the way that companies are doing things, and not just do less, spend less. There tends to be kind of this downward mindset when it comes to AI. Like, I'm going to spend less time, I'm going to spend less money, but also do more, right? Like, the ability to do more is incredibly powerful. But then to take the people of the world and enable them, empower them, help them be mighty, it's something I'm obviously passionate and excited about. Like, I think, I love the opportunity to be a part of the solution. So we see this as hopefully a global movement. There may be like 300 million jobs displaced in the next 2 years, right?
I can imagine. I can see it happening a little bit, but I do agree with you, and I see it in the stories you tell me that you really are one that is willing and wants to empower your colleagues. So I just checked out the Mighty Humans website, and it's looking amazing. I'm gonna register for this because I believe the idea is right on point, and it's so cool if you're able to really provide free education for people to understand how to better use AI.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you spreading the word, and I encourage all your readers, your listeners, go check it out, mightyhumans.us, and sign up. I think
I'll
it's
make sure to do so. No, I'm going to sign up right after this call. And Adam, I'm noticing we're almost at time. I know you have a hard stop in a short while. So just want to say thank you so much for hopping on the show with us, for telling us your story, explaining what traction is, and giving us your insights about what is happening right now. So just saying thank you for that.
excellent. Well, appreciate you having me on.
No, super happy we were able to make this work. And to anybody who is here listening to us, we appreciate you as well for coming on to hear about all the different personalities that we're talking to and all the different industries that we're learning about. So with that said, have a good one.